Let me see.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Nerdsters of the Universe. Today's May the 4th, Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. I'm Kerwin.
I'm Pizza.
And this is a special click and chat. We talked about it last week. I'm going to work on this Lego set some while we talk.
And I actually had Legos for today with my Mandalorian theme, so I could say this is the May. But I'm going to chat. My son's going to click. So I just got out of the emergency department. I have another Mando one here. I have a shoulder prosthetic. I blew my shoulder out, so I'm doing this with one arm tonight and on medication. So this is going to be a good one.
So you got Robbie Jr.
And sorry about the live being a little late, guys. I had to find the charger to my laptop. It got unplugged and fell down, and then I got a warning saying it was going to die right when I was trying to click on stuff. Wouldn't let me click on anything, so yeah. But hello. We had Captain Kung Fu and Deborah in here earlier, but they had to go to bed. It's getting late. I understand. I see my mom in here, and I see Hello Queen.
Hello Queen, hey. How are you, Hello Queen? Ginny, I guess that's mom?
Yes.
Oh, there we go. This is the May.
That's the one that got me into all the nerd stuff. See, that's one thing that had me weird. You know, as I was growing up and stuff, so many people were like, oh, Star Wars is a guy's thing, and comics are a guy's thing, and Star Trek's a guy's thing. None of the guys in my family liked any of that stuff. None of them liked sci-fi. None of them liked any of it. It was always my grandmother and my mom that were like diehard Star Wars, Star Trek, aliens, anything that was science fiction, nerdy. It was my grandmother and my mom that were hardcore into it. Everyone else was like, that's pointless stuff. That's for...
Yeah, it was actually my aunt that got me into Star Trek and all that stuff.
Hey, Robert, I have a question for you.
Okay.
So when it says Robbie is playing Fortnite, is that you?
No,
that's my son, Robbie.
Okay, well, we want to be on your squad. We want to play with you.
I'm not that good.
That's all right. We can find. We'll get you in there.
Robbie's good. Robbie's good.
Robbie's good. He's good. He just plays like, oh, I'm not that good, but
we're not that good either. It's okay.
Yeah, he's doing the so I'll be chatting. There's Robbie. He'll be clicking. So so there we go.
All right, real quick, I want to show you guys. Well, it's early, or we could wait till we get some more people in here. I don't know. Who knows? Auction finds. I got some auction finds.
Oh, you're killing me.
I got some auction finds last Friday. This past Friday. This is the same. This came from the same house that Superman #2 that's going to go on an online auction came out of. He doesn't have his gloves, and he doesn't have his symbol on his chest because, you know, kids play with toys. And at the time toys come out, they're known as toys. It wasn't until the 90s that they were started to be called collectibles.
Right.
What is it?
It looks like a Batman Mego. Is that the removable hood?
Free Batman Mego.
Okay, that's not the what would they call him? Action Man or something, where the hood came off and everything?
No, this isn't the Action Man where the hood came off.
Nice.
Hey, we had our own auction fun too.
And then again, no symbol on the chest. Cape is a little tattered, but here is the 1973 Superman Mego.
Oh, nice.
Got me a couple Megos.
And you got
now we can have Batman versus Superman.
And you know what's funny? The Mego I have, one of the Megos I have from the 70s is the Spider-Man one.
Nice.
I have upstairs. You have the Batman Superman, and I got the Spider-Man. Shouldn't that be the other way around?
Yeah, it should be, shouldn't it? All right, now another find of the auction is, and I'm gonna let you guys look at this first. What is the copyright on there? What's that say?
1942. Look at that.
1942. That is a first edition The Adventures of Superman by George Lowther.
Nice.
Look at the illustrations in this book, man.
Oh, you're killing me. Look at that.
Look at this.
That's the story one there. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first book ever written involving a story with Superman. I want to get to one of these. Look at that artwork. The color. I mean, all that. This, if I'm not mistaken, this book talks about his origin. And this was the first publishing of his origin. The comic book took aspects from this and put it into the actual origin stories.
Oh, well, the first Superman in Action comics was 1938.
Yeah, and there were other aspects of his
Right.
origin, but this went in a little bit more depth.
Oh, okay.
From what I understand, and then they pulled it into the comics. And
Nice.
then there's a new comic book store. I say new because it's new to me, but apparently it's been open since September-ish in Jeff City. So now I've got 2 comic book stores in Jeff City. I got the Amazing Spider-Man Curse of the Man thing.
Ooh.
This one just came out last week. There's one that came out a few weeks prior called Avengers Curse of the Man thing. He thought he had one in stock. He didn't, so I'm looking for that one.
You see the Baby Yoda?
That book's not really readable, Mom. It's worth a pretty penny. It's one of those that needs to be put away and not opened a lot. Because as the binding and glue wear away, it
diminishes.
tear up. And then next month, he's going to hold it for me. I'm going to get the final one, X-Men Curse of the Man thing. We've got the new Marvel run of Alien. That's right.
Nice.
Marvel is doing the Alien story now, comic-wise. And I got 2 variants, the one that looks like the movie and then one that looks comic.
Robbie, that would explain
Nice.
crossover.
Nice.
And then I still want to find Donatello and Raphael hasn't released yet, but TMNT Best of Michelangelo and Best of Leonardo.
Nice.
He didn't have Donatello in there, and I'm looking to get Raphael when it comes out.
Have you been following the TMNT, the Ronin series?
Last one.
I have not.
Last Ronin?
I wanted to. I did not. It was hard. Like, they're $5 a book.
Yeah, it's a little.
I
There
mean,
was
I know aspects of it. I know aspects of the storyline, but that is one that I do want to find.
Have to look, yeah. Robbie found it for me on someone here on YouTube.
Comic Storian.
Who?
Comic Storian.
Comic Storian. He did it like I guess he read the book and had the pages on as like he read through it as he read it.
Yeah.
We got to see it that way. I was really surprised.
Yeah, as long as you censor out the text, it's technically able to
Right,
upload
right.
it.
Robbie's over there doing my Mandalorian thing, and this is the best. Right here, there's a little Mandalorian. And what's even better in this whole thing, it comes with a little baby Yoda.
The little Grogu.
Little Grogu.
I'm
Look at that compared to the 2. It was funny.
tearing the mind. Okay, let's see what we got going on here. It says tearing to bag number 1, right?
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Bag number 1. Oh, looks like I need to make some Sith people.
Yeah, that's what I got. All mine are Mandalorians. I think there's one sand person in this
The Tusken
set,
Raider,
a
yeah.
Tusken Raider.
Yeah, he's a little later.
But yeah, we're going through that. But so how many people have watched Star Wars today?
I have not.
Uh-oh.
You watch the
I've been working and then got home and was working on getting the live scheduled and
Yeah.
ran to the store and then played some Fortnite and
Yeah, I was on planning. Good.
No, go ahead. I was just talking while I was doing
No,
this.
I was planning on doing it today, and obviously you start with A New Hope and go from there. That's my feeling. You know?
Well, there's two ways that I accept watching it. I accept watching it by starting with A New Hope, and then before you get to Return of the Jedi, or after you watch A New Hope, or after you watch right between Empire and Jedi, you watch the prequels. It's called the flashback way.
Yeah.
Once you find out the reveal, you go in and watch the prequels, and then follow it up with Jedi. The way I prefer to watch it is I like to sit down and watch it from episode 1 and on.
Yeah. So
I'm not one of those, oh, the prequels don't exist. Oh, the sequels don't exist. Some are bad, some are good. I watch it.
I wasn't bad with the prequels. They're not my favorite, but I don't mind them. I watch them. It's the last 3 that I just kind of, okay, I'll watch them because that's what they're giving us, but they're not really in my favorite list,
Yeah, no, I know.
Yeah,
My question always is, when it's a sequel or whatever, is it good as a standalone movie if you don't try and compare it to an original that is already beloved? Is it good enough on its own 2 feet?
No, that's what it is. The prequels and the sequels, like 1, 2, 3, and 7, 8, 9, you have to see all 3.
Now, see, to me, the third one stands on its own. Episode 3 stands on its own. You don't have to watch Phantom Menace, and you don't really have to watch the Clone Wars.
That's
now, there are a little bit of plot holes and stuff, but the cinematography of that movie is beautiful. I left episode 3 wanting more of episode 3, but everyone has their own opinions. Everybody likes what they like and doesn't like what they don't like.
I mean, I think, all of the Star Wars, like 4, 5, and 6, they all had their own standalone qualities, but the episodes after and before showed and could tie it in, but they were still good standalone. 7, 8, and 9 were not standalone at all, I don't think.
7 was standalone. If 4 was standalone, 7 was standalone. They were the same movie.
Well, they were kind of the same movie, but they left everything open. Unlike, 4 had, everything was kind of covered. 7, okay, it's Rey. Where'd she come from? It would. They say 7, 8, and 9 were the same as 4, 5, and 6, but
they weren't the same movies, but they were a lot. They ran by the same. Like it was like you just sat down and changed names and left out some good things.
Yeah,
and added some bad things.
And as for 1, I thought they should have did more with Darth Maul.
He's in the Clone Wars.
He's in the Clone Wars, but it's not. The cartoons. I don't know. I think they should have did more with him in the live action that they did.
Well,
they killed him.
I don't know if there's any truth to the rumor. Okay, I don't know if there's any truth to the rumor. What I have heard is that the George Lucas sequel trilogy, Darth Maul had a huge role in it. So he never really I would assume that when he made Darth Maul in episode 1, he was sort of a throwaway Sith because he didn't want, in my opinion, he probably didn't want to make a Sith character to overshadow Darth Vader. And Darth Vader was, the epitome of villainy. He was the biggest, baddest villain. And if you look at how Darth Maul was in episode 1, if they would have gone a lot further than that, I'm sorry, he would have been a lot scarier than Vader.
Well,
cinematically
maybe, but I think the character, I think they should have at least gotten him to at least the second movie or so. I think killing him off in the first one that easily was, I agree with Harlequin. I think it was a mistake. I think it would, they should have given him a little more than that, the way they did. Bringing him back in the Clone Wars, but he was cut in half and fell down a giant hole. How do you make him just mechanical legs and go from there? But the same way with the Emperor. I don't know how they pulled that off either, but,
Didn't the Emperor clone?
They did. No.
Yeah, I completely and totally get that. I do. You know, and so many of them were a mistake. You know, you can make all kinds of mistakes in those movies. You can. Yeah, I would have loved for Darth Maul not to have died. I would have loved to have had a lot more, you know, explanation. See, that's the one thing I had. That is one of the issues I have with the prequel trilogy. Is it was brought to us to basically remove, you know, to fill in the gaps. Fill in the gaps from the original trilogy. Show us what happened before the Clone Wars, how Darth Vader, you know, how come Luke's dad went from being, you know, went to being a bad guy. Like, why would he do that? Type thing. And what it ended up doing in the end was creating a crap ton more questions that don't get answered. What is the revenge? Like, oh, you know, at last the Sith will get revenge. We have an entire movie episode titled Revenge of the Sith. What is their revenge? And I know that the answers are out there if you read the books, play the games, this or that. But if you're only a movie watcher, if you only go and watch the movies, you're not going to go out and buy every game that comes out. You're not going to buy and read every book or comic book that comes out. If you're only watching the movies, you have no clue what the revenge is. What happened that the Sith want revenge so bad? You never get that answered in the films.
Well, they kind of say it how the Jedi have taken over for 1,000 generations, and the Sith, you know, they kind of give little tidbits here and there of it. And yeah, I agree with Holoqueen. I could imagine a fight between Darth Maul and Darth Vader. That would be epic.
Yeah, that would have been.
I think too.
Vader would have won, but I think Darth Maul would have gave him a nice little, definite run for his money.
I think with any large franchise, though, or anything in general, you're not going to make everybody happy. Somebody's going to love something that someone else absolutely hates.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. I mean, I say the same thing with Star Trek and everything. And, you know, do you like it? Yes. Do we have it? I didn't like this. I like that. And someone else could go just the opposite. But it's still entertaining. I still watch it, and we still have a good time with it. Although you don't know how bad today, when I was looking for a Lego set to do, I was on Amazon looking for Star Trek Legos to do, but they weren't going to be able to come until tomorrow because I thought it would be pretty funny to do a Star Trek Lego on the 4th, May the 4th.
But yeah, it's like, I like what my mom said. I'm right there with her on that, where it's plot holes are for the imagination. That's one thing I love. And see, the kicker is, though, is the term plot hole has sadly fallen into the evolution of language. A plot hole used to be a plot inconsistency, meaning if I have a console in my hand and I pull it up and it says it's 95 degrees Fahrenheit, and then 2 seconds later a science officer goes, "Captain, it's 80 degrees Fahrenheit in here," that's a plot hole.
Right.
That the plot does not match up, you know, or if, you know, something like that. An unexplained occurrence is not a plot hole, but it is turned into a plot hole. It's, oh, we didn't know where Darth Maul had breakfast this morning. That's a plot hole in Star Wars. Where did Darth Maul eat? Why didn't they tell us what he ate? You know, and it's like, those aren't plot holes. They're just unanswered questions. Right. But now they are considered plot holes because of evolution of language.
Yeah, I really like the. I really like that. Your mom saying that makes a lot of sense, and it's. See, I never got that when I was little. They're just like, oh, it's just wrong. What are you doing? You know, some people were just, you know, if they weren't encouraging it, they were looking for everything to tear it apart, and I like that. A plot hole's for an imagination.
Yeah, it allows us to have our own headcanon, and it also allows to where, like, it, you know, you turn around and go. A prime example would be we both watched Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Right.
War Machine only showed up in the first episode. Not even as War Machine, just as Rowdy.
Yeah.
You know, and then he doesn't show up anywhere else. What's up, D-Nick?
D-Nick in the house.
He doesn't show up anywhere else in the series. And, you know, I posed the question that one day. I was like, why hasn't War Machine come up? People would be like, "Oh, that's a plot hole. War Machine could have been there. He could have helped." It's not a plot hole. It's a question of where was he? And also, not even touching base on it allows for the next writer who comes in and writes the next War Machine story for the MCU to have the ability to say whatever he was doing. He doesn't have to sit down and try to make sure that he doesn't create an actual plot hole by messing things up.
Right. It's not really a plot hole. It's more like a blank page that could be filled at any time. How is it going to go? And I did like that. I will, that was
reference.
Yeah, it's just a way to reference it later.
Yeah.
Hopefully coming pretty good. My son is like a Lego genius. He's like rolling through this pretty quick.
I want step 24.
But I got the smaller sets because I am beyond frugal in some things. I didn't have a coupon or anything, and I was going through the store looking. And when did Legos? What are these made out of? Gold? Or
they've always been expensive in relation to the value of the dollar.
I was gonna say because
I've
bought Legos before, but I never, for my kids, like Santa has brought them and things like that. But when I'm sitting there looking at them for me, and there was a couple sets I really liked. There was a whole Death Star, the Return of the Jedi.
It was the
fight scene from the that in Legos, the Emperor's Chamber and all that.
Yep.
And as many ways to Sunday as I tried to justify it, it was like $199.
Yeah,
that was 90.
No, the other one
they're insane.
I couldn't do it. I tried.
Let him exaggerate his pricing. He's a dad. We do that.
Now we looked at a whole bunch of them, and
the ones I saw,
some of them were $90 that I couldn't even justify. But the big Death Star Emperor's Chamber one that I looked at, when I was out earlier, before all this happened, it was $199. They even had one. I think it was the Millennium Falcon. They had two versions of it. A big, like a full-size one, and then like a scaled-down one. But even the scaled-down one was $90-something, and the large one was $258.
They're probably reselling it because I feel like a Star Wars game coming out.
There's some kind of Star Wars game coming out.
There's supposed to be a new Lego Star Wars game. It's supposed to come out spring of this year, but it never came out.
So everything's getting pushed out again.
Yeah, and that happens. But no, if you look at action figures, right? When I was a kid, a Ninja Turtles action figure, in the 80s cost $4. And that was a big thing there. Hey, Val, cost $4. And now they're like 15. But I also remember when I was a kid, a cheeseburger cost 50 cents. And now they're like $1.50. So 3 times the price. Well, 4 times 3, $4 to $5 times 3 is $13, $15, $12 to $15. It's gone up in relation to inflation.
When I was little, those Migos that you have, the Superman and Batman, I had those. I had all the Star Trek ones. I had the Spider-Man, Batman and Robin, Superman, all the Planet of the Apes. And I remember when we went and bought them, but there's a store here called Kitty City. Well, it used to be here. It hasn't been around for, 20, 30 years. But those Migos were $1.50 when I was little to buy those.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad used to say, okay, if you're good, we'll get you the thing. And I remember one year I heard him complaining. They went up to $1.75. And that was like,
I wish
it was ridiculous. 25 cents back then.
I wish it was only.
Your age is showing, Robert.
Even my dad was a smoker back when I was little, and to show you how bad things were when they were little, he used to send me at 7 years old. I could walk across the street to the supermarket, or not the supermarket. It was like a corner store, and he would send me across to buy cigarettes for him. And they were 50 cents back then. A pack of cigarettes was 50 cents.
Yeah, and that's right. Mom has a point. They're not just toys anymore. They're considered collectible action figures.
Right. Yeah, he said when cigarettes went up to 55 cents a pack, he was freaking out. They went up a nickel. He was losing his mind. He always says today, I'm glad I quit when I did, because up here I think they're almost $10 a pack for cigarettes. I'm glad I never smoked. You guys, I don't know what you guys do.
I smoke, but see, the thing was, I remember back when I was working at distribution center, and I remember when they went up to $2, $2 to $2.50 a pack. I was throwing a fit.
Yep, I remember people coming in. When I first got off of active duty, I was working at a Wawa, and which is a convenience store up here, and they were $2 even, and everybody would come in $2, $2. Then they jumped amazingly over. I was only there for less than a year, but still, just in that less than a year period, they went from $2 to $3.75. They just kept going up and up and up and up. And my sisters are both smokers, and they're always yelling at me, "Can I borrow $20? Can I borrow this? Can I borrow $5?" I said, "Did you buy cigarettes today?" "Yeah." "Then you don't need to borrow $20 for me."
I messed up. I had to take it apart a little bit and go back. I had my piece upside down in my hand. It happens to the best of us.
Robbie put together the little
Not me.
Tuscan Raider. Oh, he finished the first set.
No, I only finished the first bag.
Oh,
You know, here's one thing that I always thought was funny, right? Or that I thought was funny last year. You remember the episode of Mandalorian, where he talks to the Tuscan Raider, and they all made it a big deal. Oh man, someone, the Tuscan Raiders actually speak. They actually have a language.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that saw that and went, Anakin can talk to the Tuscan Raiders? He does it in episode 2 when he's looking for his mom.
Was he talking to the Tuscan Raiders?
He talks to the Jawas.
The Jawas, yeah. I don't remember him talking to the
I thought he could understand the Raiders. He didn't really talk to him, but I thought he could understand what they were saying. Maybe it was just the Force. He could hear the screams. Who knows?
Maybe. I don't remember. I remember him talking to the Jawas. And yeah, I like that. But see, the thing that Hollywood is doing is they made such a big deal that they made the Tuscan Raiders language with the hand gestures and the grunts.
Yeah.
And the actor that played one of the Tuscan Raiders, he was deaf, and they were doing the sign language, and he was doing sign language along with they were making the sounds, I guess. But they made such a big deal to point out they didn't refer to him as an actor who happened to be deaf. They kept referring to him by his handicap, not even a handicap. I hate that word, but the deaf actor that does this. That's what Batwoman, Ruby Rose was saying the whole time in interviews now. She goes, "I wasn't referred to as the actor that played Batwoman. Everything was the lesbian actor that played Batwoman." It just seems like they're labeling too much. Inclusive.
It's one of those situations where they got to go, "Hey guys, look what I'm doing! Look what I'm doing!"
Yeah,
and it loses its thing. I mean, and that happens, and then there's times where it doesn't happen. People say it does, like Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Right.
I was reading something where somebody, I read comments on a lot of the posts, and they're like, "Oh, it was fine except for all the BLM stuff." I'm like, I watched the whole thing. I didn't see any BLM stuff. And they're like, "Oh, well, when it was talking about how hard it is to live like that," I'm like, it's true. It is hard. That's how some people have to go through life. That is
right.
True.
That was not BLM. That was reality.
Yeah, that was their character.
Right. I mean, and I liked how they handled it too. And they said, "You're the Black Falcon." He said, "No, I'm just Falcon." "My dad says you're the Black Falcon." "Why? Because I'm black?" "Yeah." "So does that mean you're the black kid?" And I think they handled it well when they did it. But I'm glad that, I think they did a lot of frustration, and they did it well when, oh my God, I forgot his name already.
Don Cheadle?
No, the African-American guy who was the super soldier in the 50s.
Isaiah Bradley.
Yeah. When they showed what he did and how he fought. And I know people that came back that way. I grew up in the 70s, although I was born in 68. So I saw Vietnam on television on the news, growing up. Granted, I didn't understand a whole lot of it, and I didn't get it. But as you look back and think, these men were going over and fighting. They weren't dodging anything. They were, they felt they had a responsibility, and they came home, and then they went right back to being treated like crap.
Yeah.
It didn't change anything. And in the military, I mean, I've been in the military a long time, and anybody that's been in, and even, I shouldn't say just military people, but in the military, you work with black, white, red, brown, purple, Orions, Romulus. It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? They're your buddies. They're in war with you. If they do their job, everybody's a human being. They're a man. They're a woman. We never classified, oh, that's a black guy. Oh, that's a white girl. That's a Filipino dude, and that's the way it should be. I think Morgan Freeman said it the best. He goes, you want to get rid of racism? Stop referring to me as a black man, and I'll stop referring to you as a white man. He said, I'm a man, you're a man. Granted, I think if you're a nerd, we'll keep this on the nerdster's perspective. Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. Chancellor Gorkon said to Kirk, if there's going to be peace in our day, our generation will have the toughest time living in it. And we can make the changes now, but there's still going to be, it's not going to come easily, but it's got to come.
No, I understand that. Yeah, I try to get away from the whole, like referencing other people when when I'm looking at things. Like like I said, when I was talking to the guy messaging on that forum, I was just basically stating on what was going on in there. People get offended easy, and some people get offended rightfully easy. I'm not saying that people shouldn't get offended at all ever. Some people get offended rightfully. I mean, if you're a woman and you're going about your day, and some dude decides that he wants to treat you like whatever, or if you're a person of color and some dude wants to be racist to you, all that stuff. Yeah, you have every right to be offended by it.
Right.
And it's, it is what it is. And that's why I try to stay out of that. But it's when I see somebody turn around and try to be like, oh, well, it was SJW and this and that. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. The Last Jedi was SJW. The whole, Canto Bite scene was just like, really?
Yeah.
And that's where some of the problems come into. And that's where some of the problems I had with Last Jedi is it tried to bring the problems we have every day into the Star Wars universe without allowing it to be a Star Wars problem.
Right. I mean, there was just labels in general. And I mean, we had even as something as simple as when I was stationed in Okinawa, I was, corpsman with the Marine Corps, but I was in the Navy. But there were women in the Marine Corps then. But instead of referring to them, everybody would refer to them as, oh, that's a female Marine. That's a female Marine. I'm like, no, she's a Marine. She happens to be a woman. I'm like, you try to call her anything other than a Marine and let's see what happens. It's like, let me get a good seat for that and some popcorn. You know what I mean? It's the way things go that way. And it's just, and what did Ginny, that's your mom, said, I'm glad you missed any war. I'm like, nope, I didn't miss them. I fell right into the middle of them. We started with Panama. I was in. We were there in Panama and went right into Desert Shield, Desert Storm, Iraqi Freedom, Kuwait Liberation, all the way through. We got everywhere there seemed to be fighting and a truck going that way. For some reason, I ended up on it. Truck, ship, whatever. But I'm hoping things are changing and I won't have to worry about my kids having to worry about that.
Yeah. But no. And like how LaQueen said, the article about prioritizing pregnant people and vaccinations and the comments over the term pregnant people was just unreal. Like people just get offended by the weirdest things anymore. But at the same time, like one thing, again, going back to that comment in that nerd thing was I was like, when I responded to him, I was like, you show me a scene in Avengers, in any Avengers movie, you show me a scene where the Avengers stand up and go, who's the villain? Oh, they're a Republican, or oh, they're a Democrat. Oh, yeah, we got to take them out. That's when it gets political. When
Yeah.
a superhero starts looking at an ideal that's opposite of the writer's perspective and instantly villainizes them without them doing anything to be a villain, that is where a problem would lie. And I haven't seen that yet.
Right.
You know, there are villains on all sides of the thought perspective. Look at Stargirl. You know, that whole scene in Stargirl where they're like, oh, they're trying to do this. Are you sure we're the good guys? Yeah,
Yes.
they're doing it the wrong way. You know, you never... There's so many different
That's
things
right.
that can be done.
I thought it was good in all the Marvel Cinematic Universe. It wasn't Democrat or Republican. It was like, he's Hydra, you know, and that was where it stopped.
He's German.
Yeah, he was. It was. I mean, obviously the World War II scenes, you knew who the bad guys were, but they even made it. He's Hydra, and that's that.
Yeah, he was a Hydra Nazi. He
Right.
was still a Nazi. Don't take, you know, Nazis can be villainized all day long. I don't care.
I mean, I know I
You're
get
offended
political.
by that. We don't want you in our stream anyway.
Right. I mean, I get political occasionally at home, and I have my views, and I try to keep them off of here. Although I do bring them up at home because it drives my kids insane sometimes, so I give them that little extra nudge. But it's just it shouldn't have any place. I say don't forget the past. That's where I get offended personally when everyone says with the removing of the statues because they're offended by something that happened all these years ago. I say don't remove history. Don't forget the past. Learn from it and move on. If you try to erase it and ignore it like it wasn't there, those who are ignorant to history are doomed to repeat it. And that's my little step in the woods. And, you know.
Well, see, that's something I always loved about comics is they do get political, but they don't. It's not so much on a political sense. They get on a current social situation. Even sci-fi in general, comics and sci-fi. Look at Star Trek. You know, the first, you know, they get interracial kiss, putting a Russian as an officer in the middle of the Cold War. You know, things like that. They always they touched base on. They wanted to push the envelope and go acceptance, but it was all about the present. It wasn't about look what happened, you know, that time or sit there and talk. No, it was about changing what was going on at that moment.
Right. They tackled the political issues of the day, but almost, I don't want to say satirical way. They did it in a way that you could see, oh yeah, look at that. Like that was in Trekkies, the movie Trekkies. Majel Barrett, Roddenberry said to handle the black and white racial and civil rights action, they had to do it so almost comically by painting Frank Gorshin half, you know, black on one side and white on the other, and his counterpart, his enemy, was black on the opposite side and white on the opposite side. And they said it kind of brought it out into the forefront that, all right, it's this ridiculous. Yes, we're black and white. It's just that doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean a thing.
You do it in a way that resonates for both ideals. You don't do it in a way that vilifies the other side. And that's where we run into problems now with both sides. Is they try to instantly go, oh, we're being labeled. And it's like, no, you're not. No, you're not.
Right. And then and I agree with your mom. It's not who's right or who's wrong. It's just who believes one way, who believes another way.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, I was talking about this today, and I said when they were talking about the people, when an atheist is offended, that all the religious stuff has to come off the building because it offends them. Well, then 2 weeks later, you're back in court because now the Christians are offended that it's gone. So does that mean you put it back? And where does it end? I mean, we have to. Like my dad always said, growing up, just pick your battles. You know, see what it is. And John Billingsley, Phlox.
That's one thing I loved about the original Star Wars trilogy. And so many people make fun of it and try to go certain routes with it. But I loved the thing about the original Star Wars trilogy is that there was you didn't question it at the time. Some people might have, some people would have been, might have had the whole, well, I questioned it. I thought it was weird. But, the Empire was bad. The rebels were good. You didn't question, they just blew up a Death Star with all these people on it. No, you were under the impression that those were all people. There wasn't all kinds of different ideals in it. It was a matter of these people are doing that. It doesn't matter why they're doing it. This is what they're doing. It was again vilifying the actions, and you had bounty hunters, and everyone fell in love with Boba Fett. He was a bad guy.
Technically, yeah, Boba Fett was. Well, and now they have him going from bad guy to anti-hero.
Yeah,
which we're doing with a lot of things, and I love that term. I really do.
We all love a good anti-hero.
Boba Fett toys, they have
Well, because
so
it's
much.
Batman. Yeah, and I still kick myself in the butt because the Boba Fett I had as a kid my missile shot on my Boba Fett. His backpack missile.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of the ones that shot.
What'd you do? Choke on it?
Say what?
So what'd you do? Choke on it?
No, we were smart enough not to put the stupid things in our mouths back then. I don't know. That's why there's so many. I joke about it all the time. I said that's why there's so many morons in the world. Was too many warning labels. I said you want to get everything back to normal. Start taking warning labels off.
Warning labels are a result of morons, but not just morons. There are legitimate times where it does. It's a necessity.
Yeah,
An example would being, like you just said, you weren't dumb enough to put it in your mouth and shoot it, right?
right.
But at the same time, say you're a parent and the other parent's at work, you're at home, you're cooking dinner, your 8-year-old boy sitting there playing with his brand new Boba Fett toy. He's having fun. He has to go to the bathroom. He runs up real quick, goes to take a leak. And while he's doing that, the 3-year-old grabs the toy, starts sucking on it, pushes the button, and it shoots in the back of the 3-year-old's throat.
Well, that's also here another thing that I say about it's called, parenting. If you're going to get something like that for a kid, like all our toys back in the day shot something. I had the Battlestar Galactica, the Cylon, and the Viper, and they all shot missiles. And my mom sat down with me when she handed it to me. She said, "You see this? Click, 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 click. Don't go in your mouth. Don't put it in your mouth." She said, "You'll choke." I said, "There you go. Okay, I'm good." Just like with Bugs Bunny, I was smart enough to know I'm not going to drop an anvil on somebody's head or fall off a cliff or, let's open the store with dynamite. It was just.
Wait, we can't open the store with dynamite? But Bugs
Yeah, I
Bunny
know.
we could.
Hey, you don't know how many times I tried to draw a train tunnel on the side of the wall with crayons? My mom did not like that at all, by the way, let me tell you. Waiting for the Roadrunner to come out the train hole that you draw. Okay, I think that's the political portion of our show.
I don't mean to go that far, but sometimes it does. I tried to dock back, but
I mean,
That's
sci-fi has the references in there to today's issues, and I think they just it's like nerdsters. We don't get that kind of crazy as like a lot of people do, and I wasn't crazy. I'll just say we'll say as passionate about opinions as we would rather argue more about why Mace Windu had a purple lightsaber and how come I never saw purple until him, and then what happened to him after him and everything else.
Well, technically, that honestly that could be an easy one, and you don't have to go into again. I look at the film side and everything as its own entity. I know we got the extended universe in games. Oh, they made this canon, they made that canon. Wah. It isn't canon if it's not in film sense.
Right.
But
the only reason there were purple lightsabers is because Samuel L. Jackson wanted purple.
yeah, that was the whole reason, was because he wanted purple. But if you want to give it a headcanon idea, like a Star Wars thing, well, the first time we see a purple lightsaber is the first time we see the head of the Jedi Council pull his lightsaber. Perhaps, perhaps it's a status situation to where if you're head of the Jedi Council, you get a purple lightsaber. Because guess what? We don't see the head of a Jedi Council anytime after that.
Right.
So
but they spent this whole. I mean, there was actually an entire book written on what color lightsabers are and what they mean, and they added purple, gold. Like Rey has a gold lightsaber now.
yeah, and it's because too many people go, oh, it's a plot hole. I guarantee you, there's some sort of
Star Wars.
what's the term I'm looking for? Article out there where somebody goes, plot hole, there weren't gold lightsabers in Star Wars movies, yet Rey gets a gold lightsaber.
Right. And then they go like George Lucas said the books and the things like that, the whole extended universe is considered canon. But I mean, just because I will say I am a Star Wars fan, I lean towards Star Trek a little more, but Star Wars fans have gotten to an almost toxic level. After episode 8, it got really bad.
No, it got bad after the prequels.
Well, I saw it more when they were giving that one Tran, what was her name? Kelly Tran?
Oh, God, yeah, that was horrid.
What they were doing to that poor girl, it was just ridiculous.
Like, she's an actress doing a role that she was hired to do. Don't get onto her for it.
Right.
But now her career is blown up. She's doing amazing.
Yeah, I think the bad publicity...
It wasn't the bad publicity. It was her skills. She is a heck of an actress. And the people of value, the people who hire that, saw it. That's what it was. Sorry, not to...
No, I understand. I think it just brought her more attention to her and showcased, and people saw her skill from there a little more. You know what I mean? That it was all about the negative publicity. The girl was.
Well, yeah. I mean, any publicity is good publicity, but if she didn't have the skill, she wouldn't have got cast the way she's been getting cast.
But, you lost it. Look at that. We're talking about toys that shoot. My Lego Mandalorian that my daughter's putting together right now, their blasters shoot Legos.
There's a warning. Yeah. Not shoot anything. It's a little yellow thing in the instruction.
Yeah, it's and there's a warning. Do not shoot this.
Yeah. These blasters shoot.
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
These blasters shoot.
Yeah. I just think that it's funny. I mean, with the warning. Oh, look at that. Area 2 is done of this little setup. So it looks like it's the Tusken Raiders camp, the Mandalorian on a speeder bike, which I can't wait. I wish Ford and Tesla would get to working on those things, man.
Are any of you guys working on Legos? Anyone in the chat?
We're going to have to do this every couple months, have a nice big click and chat.
More Legos.
Can't do it all the time. I don't have the money to buy Legos all the time.
That's what I mean. We got to space it out. Because especially since now with my shoulder today, with blowing my shoulder out, I'm out of work now for a while. So I don't know what I'm going to be affording for a while. I can't go because obviously in healthcare, can't lift a patient, can't do something. I'm going to be out of work for a while.
Speaking of affording and speaking of Star Wars Day, did you get a chance to watch that little video and read on the link I sent you?
I did not as of yet.
Lordy Lord.
I was in the ER and I didn't know how long I was going to be there. And my phone was at like 40% as I was sitting there. So everything, I spent more time in the waiting room today. And even though I worked in an ER and, and I'm an ER nurse and all that stuff, I still get cranky. I'm like, what is going on back there? What's taking so, I'm complaining and I know what's going on. It's not that
it's the world.
It's not that all the nurses are sitting back there going, ready?
Robert, did we lose you? You started dogging nurses, and because you're a nurse, it kicked you out, I'm guessing. That's what we're going with. But no, while Robert's trying to get his technical difficulties under control, while he's working on those technical difficulties, I'm sure he'll be back. I'm just going to kick him real quick. He'll come back. All right. I was reading an article, and what got me to open the article was they talked about the retractable lightsaber that Disney had been working on. And I was like, oh, yeah, I wanted to see if they actually released it. They did it, and they did. They released a video of the retractable lightsaber working, and oh, my gosh, I want it. I don't think they're gonna sell it anytime soon, and it probably costs as much as it costs to go to Disney to buy the darn thing. But they released it. They released the video with the news of a an attraction that they're doing in Disney World now where you stay there for 2 nights. And the thing I can equate it the most to would be like a space cruise. The way it described it was you go there, you go to Disney World, you go to the the Star Wars area, and then you'll go into a loading dock or a loading area, and then you enter a ship, and you're in the ship for 2 nights. And there's times where the ship will land, and you get to go do other stuff in the Star Wars area, and then you go back, and it just, it sounded epic. It sounded just epic. And yeah, I read that, and I sent Crashly I just yelled at her, and I sent it to her, and I said, yeah, I know what I want to do next year, because it's supposed to open in 2022. And it just looks amazing. They got, activities. You're apparently supposed to be able to train to be a Jedi and all kinds of stuff. If you really just want to train to be a Jedi, I can help you.
I happen to be a Jedi Master.
No, you don't.
Yes, I am.
You are? Really?
They call me young Patacrash. Get it?
Padded Crash?
No, Patacrash.
Patacrash, guys. Patacrash. Robert is having internet issues. I saw in the chat here. So, other questions. What did you guys do for Star Wars Day? No, I didn't take my photo with Grogu, Mom. I didn't have time for that. I was busy doing other things, sadly. I've got Grogu I could take photos with, though. I saw Kalina sent me that link, and I never got around to it. Sold a couple round 2s at auction the other day, though. Saw that. Where in the world am I missing a piece? I might be missing a piece. Oh, no, I'm not. There it is. I'm just blind. So, how the Queen slept. That's a good thing to do. I worked. Got your photo and video. Okay. Oh, anybody watch the Mortal Kombat movie that came out? I know Mom and Kalina were going to watch it, and I told them not to. They don't like gore. Sorry, Warner Brothers, HBO Max, whatever you want to say. Some people don't like gore. I loved it. I thought it was awesome. I loved They did, like I said in the last live, there were things I didn't like about it, but overall, I thought they did it justice. Val's still got to do the diamond painting for the fandom collab. Val, which diamond painting are you doing on the fandom collab? I've got a couple I need to pop out and start doing, but oh, what are you doing over there? You playing Fortnite still?
No,
And you're dying.
I'm dead.
She died. Yeah, we play Fortnite every once in a while, and you know what's funny? 99% of the time we die, it's because we get caught in the storm.
Yeah, but this is a different kind of game, so you just respawn.
What? Cheater.
How?
This is a different kind of game, so you just respawn.
Do I sound like that?
Does she sound like that, guys?
You even
Does
respawn
Does
before you
Crash
stop.
sound like that? BOGO means really big sale. That's what BOGO means. Really big sale. Really big sale Crashly likes to go to. I'm getting evil looks over here.
Why don't you just show Rob the kind of camera you have real quick?
Yeah, every time I talk like that, shush. Every time I talk like that,
No, tell them why I said that.
I don't know why she said that.
Nope, tell them now.
See, I want to get me and Crashly have been talking about watching Nevers. We were going to, And lo and behold, someone decided she was going to start watching Handmaid's Tale or Handmaiden's Tale, whatever it's called. So she's stuck on that show now. Let's see. Just mounted your Hello Queen. Just mounted the foam board yesterday and cutting it out. So you mount yours to a foam board and then you put it in a frame. Do you use glass or plexiglass or anything to cover it, or do you just seal it with a good sealer and then frame it that way? We're talking diamond paintings, guys. If you're, I know that's why I said if you're not, do you put it behind glass or do you just seal it and let it be? That's why I asked you that. I know that. I watch your lives. Yeah, that's why. That's why. Guys.
You're using your life to diss me. I'll remember that.
Metallica song, If I Die Before I Wake. Crashly did it.
I die young. Bury me in satin.
Won't be framed. It's a 5-panel. Nice. I have to set camera up with the arm thing for Rob to do his Legos in the future. It's going on foam board and then will be sealed with Mod Podge Super Gloss. I think there's some Super Gloss around here somewhere back when she did the Mod Podge thing. Now I think she just tucks all the diamond paintings away somewhere. I don't know. They vanish at times. Where all your diamond paintings go, babe?
I just put them on the piano.
That explains a lot.
Where do you put yours?
I haven't.
Oh my gosh, it's a dinosaur.
Yes, the dinosaurs are in that game. Hey, babe, is it a velociraptor?
No, it was a dinosaur dropping the guy off instead of like a parachute.
Oh, yeah.
Being dropped off by a freaking dinosaur. That's amazing. I want to be his friend.
Is it a Veloster?
Why wouldn't let me pick up the
Scared of Mod Podge. Oh, Robert's back. Robert, no, you're not. I don't see Robert. I see a Mandalorian.
Dad, who's that? Wrong thing.
I had to get physical with my computer.
You had to get physical with your computer?
I can't tell who's the bad guy.
This is not that kind of channel, Rob. They're gonna think I put click in chat and thing, and then you're talking about getting physical with your computer. They're gonna think this is a Friday night chat or something.
Now we have a
Physical.
Chromebook, and it's not one of the greatest ones, and it usually messes up. So when I go onto this laptop I'm on now is mine, and it's probably 10, 12 years old.
Yeah.
I love it. It works. It does everything it's got to do. It's just the battery is long since dead, so I got to keep it plugged in. That's all.
I'm sitting here doing my Legos outside of frame because I'm getting caught up in the moment. Yeah, no, I haven't met a Chromebook that actually was decent. Like, we got a Chromebook. It's pretty decent. I take back what I said. The Chromebook my wife got me for Christmas. Chromebook Crashly got me for Christmas. It's pretty decent. But it still doesn't hold up to an actual laptop. I want to see that again. I was looking down. I'm not going as fast. I'm Chatty Cathy over here right now.
Well, if this is I guess it's the Tusken Raider home from the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And my kid is like, like I said, he's a Lego genius with this stuff. So both of them. Although we had the Imperial Walker, the two-legged walker one.
I keep having to frog my Legos because I put pieces on backwards because I'm paying more attention to talking than I am to click.
It's kind of like the way they do their whipping chats with their diamond paintings. I think in 2 hours they put three drills down.
Well, I'm gonna get more than three Legos put together. It's my plan anyway. It's my plan, Stan. All right.
But, yeah, Robbie tried to do the two-legged walker, the ATST.
Yeah.
But apparently that thing was the bane of his existence because the head was just too big for the body. It wasn't really a good design for the Legos. And he's like, I got it. And he put it down to set it up, and the thing went clonk, fell over, and I think if I wasn't in the room or he wasn't showing me, there'd been a whole lot of words coming out of my son's mouth.
And you know what? Honestly, don't take this the wrong way, Robbie. Don't take this the wrong way. But it honestly could have seriously just been an overlooked brick the size of this at one point. Zach worked on a Star Wars Lego set. It was a Clone Wars. Brain just put it gone. Whatever. Ahsoka Tano.
Oh, nice.
And it was her, and then it had battle droids on a little battle crew on a little battle hover thing.
Yeah.
That shoots cannons as well. But every time he'd touch it, the whole back part would just fall on the floor, fall back. And I went through and I was looking at the instructions, and I just started frogging it, at that point. And I found this piece, and I'm like, oh, and then put that one piece in there, and now you can take it and toss it in the air, and
oh wow,
it's fine. It's obviously not this one, but
Maybe I refuse to go back.
yeah, I think he's like maybe, but it's like it is dead to him. I don't think he wants to go near it again.
yeah, no. Like I said, you might have put it together right. I'm not saying you put it together wrong. I'm just saying sometimes that can be a possibility.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
There. Trying to put this together without popping off things already put on there. It makes it a little difficult. So, Robert.
Yes.
I have a question for you. And this has to do a little bit with Superman. All right.
Okay.
My question is, are you excited? It's Star Wars related as well, somewhat, and Star Trek related. Are you excited to see a bad robot Superman?
I don't know.
And for those who may not know, not everyone knows all that. Bad robot Superman.
It's J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams is his production company's Bad Robot. So when I say Bad Robot Superman, I mean a J.J. Abrams Superman, which is who we're getting to do the next Superman movie.
I think J.J. Abrams is getting his fingers into too much. I mean, he does good work on certain things. Like, I don't know how he's going to do on Superman. I mean, granted, he did a good Star Trek movie. If you had never seen Star Trek before, he got more fans involved. It was very action-packed. It was just like us old cranky fans that were, the wrong timeline. That didn't happen. Oh, my God, how did he do that? But, I mean, he does good movies, granted.
He doesn't do good movies. I'm sorry. I'm going to pause you right there, buddy.
All right.
J.J. Abrams didn't write Star Trek. He didn't write Star Trek Into Darkness, and he was barely even involved in Star Trek Beyond. He hired Star Trek fans, who were also his friends, to write those films and help them do that. He directed them. And yes, they had some flashy parts, but unless you are a huge fan of lens flare, how in the world can you be an Abrams directing fan?
I'm not an Abrams directing fan. I think he does good in his certain genres. Like, I hated the lens flare. I remember that was a big thing with The Next Generation. When they were doing the comm badges and the pips and the pins and stuff, they had to be done in a matte muted color so there would be no lens flare. And then he turns around, comes in, and throws the lens flare in.
I am so happy Jakku only had one son.
I didn't hear you. You kind of cut there for a minute.
I said, I'm so happy Jakku only had one son.
all the lens flare he could have had with all that crap.
Yeah. But then he came back. We had Tatooine in Last Jedi, in Rise of Skywalker, and he didn't go too crazy with that. But I think by that point, enough people had told him, "Hey, JJ, enough with the lens flare."
Yeah, he was almost like a one-trick pony with that for a while, and it was getting a little old.
Yeah. But no,
Granted,
I haven't seen anything about him directing it. All I know is that he's producing it, and he might get the right people to do it. You never know. It might turn out pretty darned good.
We'll have to see. I mean, I think it depends. I heard Henry Cavill might not be Superman again.
That rumor's been out there over and over.
Yeah, I see it in different spots, and like a lot of like a couple rumor mill posts, and then I see a couple sites that are usually pretty reliable. And then
somebody went out there and said that he's not in it, and then they said the sole reason he's not in it is because he refused to do the cameo for Shazam and all kinds of stuff. But the last legitimate report said he is still signed on to do a few more Superman movies. So
okay.
That was the last legitimate report. Doesn't mean it's, it doesn't mean that that's 100% what's going to happen. But
I think we have to get a link to the Batfleck petition out so we can put that on our website so we can sign the petition to keep Ben Affleck as Batman.
Well, to do that, you got to keep Zack Snyder in the Justice League movies.
Yeah.
It's one of those that I'm like, that's a catch-22.
Yeah.
Really, Affleck? Why are you doing this to me?
Yeah.
Like, I would love to keep you as Batman, but I don't want Snyder to stay in. He bores me.
Okay, Anna finished her little set, her little Mando set.
I still got 2 big bags to go through. I'm slacking, guys. I'm slacking.
Well, these are the little sets. It's like the little ship, and it's got two Mandalorians on it.
Yeah. Oh.
And then it came with 4 Mandos total. So you got the one in the ship, and then you got the one on the ground behind the little set.
Oh, does that got Katie Sackhoff in it? Is that her name?
It looks like a Bo-Katan.
Yeah.
There's 2 blue ones here, but it's got it's got a few on there. And then Robbie's got the one with the Din Djarin, the regular Mandalorian. I was looking for one with the big dragon, the crit dragon.
Yeah.
But they just have the Tusken Raiders and like the little set. They didn't do one with the dragon part yet.
Yeah.
Don't.
I'm trying to work on this. It's 10:45. I think we should. I'm going to call it about 15 minutes. Whoa!
Okay.
How long have I been out of focus, guys? I swear, my camera has not been drinking much. I promise you. I wouldn't let it drink too much. If it is,
I'd be the one out of focus. They're the ones that gave me pain meds in the ER.
if it is, it needs to start sharing.
There you go.
There we go. I see. I told it needed to share, and it's like, oh no, I'm not drunk. I'm good.
No, we're good. We're good.
Good. Yeah. Stingy camera.
So, how do you feel about, from the Star Wars perspective, the what is it? The Book of Boba Fett? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, whatever.
How do you feel about that?
I can't wait. Again, Boba Fett being an anti-hero is freaking awesome.
Yeah, I like that. I can't wait to see where they go. Did they put the new Mandalorian date out yet for the next season?
It's supposed to come out sometime this winter.
Yeah, they said by the end of the year they would have the next season of that.
Might need to do some tests.
But yeah, I know they had to do a lot of reshooting because of the whole Gina Carano thing. But
What'd you say?
was that me?
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't hear anything. Why did you hear? Did you hear something? I didn't hear anything. Did you hear something?
I thought I heard someone saying something, but
I've got 2 pieces here. I don't recall seeing instructions for.
Well, I know they always put extra pieces in there of like similar ones you already have. Lego gives you a few extras here and there.
Well, I skipped a step.
Uh-oh.
Uh,
Yeah, that used to mess me up because we get the advent calendars for Christmas, the Star Wars
Yeah.
Lego advent calendars, and they always put like a couple little extra pieces in here and there. I stared at that thing. We all looked at it, and go, "Where the hell does this go?" You know, and got to figure it out.
There we go. Pull that guy off. Then put this guy in.
I think it's
They couldn't get up and down. They didn't put the ladders in. Oh, did you get
Oh,
the
that was-
non-roasted?
That was the other set I wanted to get to do for today, but I wanted to get the Michael Keaton Batmobile Lego set.
Oh, there's an 89 Batmobile Lego set.
Yes, and it's about almost $200 and something right now.
We have one similar.
$200. My birthday's in 21 days, guys. Birthday's in 21 days.
They have
I'm telling people about this stuff where I want that pinball machine. I keep telling everybody my birthday is May 25th. That's my birthday. I don't know if y'all will be up by then, but come on, guys. Come on.
your birthday is May 25th. My sister's is May 27th.
Yeah.
The one we don't talk about, but
Which one's that?
well, Dana, the one we don't talk about. Halloween. Your credit card just cried. You found out how much the Batman one was? Because they had the
Happy
89
birthday,
Batmobile.
Yellow Queen. Happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday. They have the 89 Batmobile. They have the animated series Batmobile set, and they have a Tumbler set that I found. I noticed they didn't even go anywhere near the Schumacher Batmobiles.
What?
I didn't see them in Legos.
Those were amazing. Like they were right on there, on par with Arnold Schwarzenegger playing Mr. Freeze. I mean, come on. Where can you go?
Okay. I'm glad you have sarcasm in your voice for that.
There was no sarcasm there. Mr. Freeze, Arnie's Mr. Freeze was gold. Pure comedic gold.
Are we talking about more of the pain? Who's sharing the pain meds now? Yeah, I mean, I want to see Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd, that is a really. Why didn't I think of that?
I know.
He would make.
We've had that conversation before.
Yeah.
That guy is amazing in everything he does. I said it before. I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. He is amazing, that guy.
I'm gonna skip a step. I can't find his gun pieces, but they're probably in another bag. So.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it is what it is. We got all these little. This step. Bag 3 has tons of tinies.
Uh-oh.
Tons of tinies. See, there's his gun. Tons of tinies.
Oh, geez. Did you ever find that connected?
Yeah.
No.
No, if something goes off the desk, you'll never find it. I'm just letting you know.
I believe you.
Yeah, you know what you need now? All you need now, Kerwin, is a cat to walk across that table.
I got enough I can do with losing one.
Or just a tail, like a little cat tail, just giving a little, you know.
Pew, 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 pew. Am I the only one that was disappointed that the Knights of Ren never carried lightsabers? Really? You're the
I noticed that. Didn't they had every other kind of weapon. Kylo Ren was the only one with a lightsaber.
All right. Robert,
Yes.
you were having technical difficulties while I was talking about it. But did you hear what I was saying about that article I sent you?
No, I didn't hear what you said.
They're shooting for a 2022 launch.
Okay.
Disney World, the Star Wars area, whatever they call it,
Yeah, Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge is it's a new attraction they're gonna have where it's a 2-night. It's a 2-night attraction. You go in, and you check in, and the thing I can equate it to the most is like a space cruise.
I saw that. They had that on Netflix when they talked about the Star Wars attraction, the Disney Galaxy's Edge. They talked about that coming. And it's like in a whole immersive like a Starship cruise thing.
Yeah.
I saw that on the show. That looks amazing.
And they released that information with the actual working retractable lightsaber.
I think I'm gonna push things too much.
Ooh.
Freaking sweet.
I have to check that out.
It's on your phone. Why don't you pull it up right now?
Well, I got my phone is at 21%, and that's what I'm watching the chat on.
Oh.
I'm watching the live chat on my phone, and I'm on my laptop doing that.
The Knights of N. I think the Knights of Monty Python. Neat. We are the Knights of Neat. Neat.
We are no longer the knights that say neat. We are now the knights that say icky icky. Oh my god, I got such a kick out of
Hey Robert, what's your favorite color?
that. Blue.
Wrong.
Wrong. Oh my god.
Ah, it's red.
Now,
whatever color he says.
I forget, whatever. I have to find my plush killer rabbits.
Really? Is a killer rabbit?
It's just a rabbit. Nope, don't go over there, I'm telling you.
Look, I think these new Legos, they crack me up so much. I never remember seeing anything like this in my Lego set. Like, we had to make them, and we made them with all the little tiny knobs. I don't even see them in here. I don't see the tiny knobs. I see all these weird things here, like this. But we made them with all the little tiny knobs, and we had to hope we didn't tap it, and they just fall apart.
Yep. They're really getting. I remember going into the Lego store in Las Vegas years ago, and they had a whole Star Wars section, and they had like full-size Darth Vader, a Luke Skywalker Stormtrooper, R2-D2, and just the way they put these things. Obviously, they make special parts for them.
So yeah,
but it's just amazing where they're going with these things. When I was little, it was just a big bucket of 1,000 red, yellow, green, blue, and purple pieces.
I didn't just drop a piece.
Oh.
I didn't just drop a piece. I dropped a piece, but hey, I think I might have an extra. Look, I got an extra.
I would love a Lego set of Joel Schumacher's Mr. Freeze car. I would love it.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. Joel Schumacher's Batman movies sucked. They were horrid.
Yeah.
But
but it was still easy and they had great design.
Yeah, Robbie wants a Lego set of Mr. Freeze's car from Joel Schumacher. The little car he came busting in with the missiles in the front.
Yeah, and that's to say, the vehicles from that set were actually pretty cool. Or from that Air J.
I wasn't crazy about the Batmobile in that one. Although I did kind of like
with the little lightning front part, but but at the same time they did have to redo it because they want to constantly redo things. I mean, which is better? Schumacher's Batmobile, and I say Schumacher because we've got two Batmobiles from him that were similar, or Batmobile from Dark Knight trilogy.
Let me see. I'm trying to think. I liked the Dark Knight Tumbler. I liked it.
You did?
The Dark Knight trilogy. I did. I liked the Tumbler. And I liked the way they, for Batman versus Superman and everything, they gave a toned down little version of it. Kind of.
Yeah.
It still looked like the Tumbler, but it was a little more, it was smaller. It was a little more compact. And, I mean, Harlequin with the Schumacher's great visuals, it was just, I think it was a little over with the visuals. Everything was neon and in your face. if you had epilepsy, I think most of his stuff would have been causing worldwide seizures with some of his stuff. I mean, everybody had to have their own bat suit. I remember that. Kilmer had to have his own version. Clooney had to have his own version.
Clooney had to have bat nipples.
Yeah, Clooney. That was the worst idea they ever had, was putting nips on Batman, on his suit. But I mean, my favorite Batmobile is still Michael Keaton's. I love Adam West's Batmobile. Which one is
Oh, it's
that?
classic. The Keaton's Batmobile.
Years ago?
Yeah, Keaton's Batmobile is Batmobile. I mean, that's just freaking.
I forgot. I got Robbie a Batmobile for a Christmas Lego set 2 years ago, and it looks like it's kind of a mashup of different Batmobiles.
Yeah.
So it's like this. Kind of has that.
Okay.
It kind of has a little bit of the Keaton, all of them, Batmobile feel to it.
A little bit of all of them. All right, there's that piece.
Oh yeah, it has little guns that pop out the side and all that stuff. And Batman on the inside. Isn't that the Lego Batmobile?
Well, one of them. So
Yeah.
Lego Batmobile every year.
Well, the one from the movie, though.
Huh?
Yeah, we've been getting kind of into the Legos
Yeah,
lately.
it reminded me a little bit of the animated series too, Hello Queen.
Yeah,
Putting
yeah.
nipples on the suit got people. No, it didn't. If it got people to watch it, Schumacher would have been able to make another Batman movie.
No, it got all the nerds looking at the screen going, "What is that?" You know?
If anything in the Joel Schumacher Batman movies, the two castings got people to turn up to those movies. The first one was in Batman Forever, Jim Carrey as the Riddler. Nice.
Yeah.
The second one, everyone showed up. I'm telling you, all the money that Batman and Robin made was solely because of Uma Thurman's Poison Ivy.
I like Uma Thurman, but she should have just cut that accent out. I mean, she tried.
No. You didn't really know the accent until you already got there.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say Poison Ivy is probably the worst part of that movie.
I didn't like her in that movie at all. I didn't like her as Poison Ivy. I have to, you know.
But you didn't watch the casting and go, Uma Thurman as Poison Ivy, I'm going to go see it.
No, I really didn't.
Wow.
And I was upset with Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl. Not Barbara Gordon, Barbara something else. You know, that kind of.
Poison Ivy. It's like 10 minutes later in movie time, not in real life time. She has a second suit.
I don't know. She just, yeah. They with Batgirl, they had the suit. Oh, Alfred happened to take the liberty to make her a suit. And then after Alfred couldn't make anything else, hey, wow, she's got the cold suit too, like Batman and Robin have. Look at that. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, I like, Val knows, I like Poison Ivy in general. And I'm a Catwoman fan like crazy just because of Batman and Catwoman, and Poison Ivy's a redhead. But I just wasn't crazy about, you know, Uma Thurman. Yeah, that's the one everybody yells about is Bane as a
I
sidekick.
thought Bane, yeah, the way they did Bane's character was horrible. I thought for the world that it was in, for the world that it was in, I thought that Uma Thurman did a decent job as Ivy. Just like I thought Jim Carrey did a decent job as Riddler for the world it was in.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Jim Carrey was good, and I heard at the beginning of that it was supposed to be Robin Williams, but he backed out. Robin Williams as the Riddler would have been epic. There would have been no other word to use but epic, I think.
I don't know. I love Robin Williams and his stuff, but I just do not see Robin Williams Riddler side by side with Tommy Lee Jones Joker. I mean Two-Face. I mean Joker. I mean Two-Face.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell it was I was watching that he was in.
Yeah. I mean, I think if they would have did Robin, I think they added. Didn't they add Tommy Lee Jones' Two-Face later?
Now,
Because
see,
Robin Williams was supposed to be the Riddler as the main villain. Was the Riddler? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I could see a Robin Williams Riddler playing off of Billy D. Williams Two-Face. I could see that.
Yeah. I think though with Robin Williams, he should have been more of a solo villain because of the way he just sort of goes into a character. I couldn't see him sharing the part, kind of. But I thought Two-Face should have been Billy D. Williams from the very beginning. Let me see. Oh, Jimmy. Speaking of Catwoman, I wish D-Nick was still here because Anna drew a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman.
Yeah.
Have it up. How's that?
Nice.
She's all embarrassed. I don't want anyone to see it. I don't want anyone to see it. I love it. I love Michelle Pfeiffer.
That is really good artwork. And I'm not just saying that. I'm being 150,000% honest.
Oh, yeah,
That is really, really good artwork.
Matthew got his Halo. Well, it's Mega Bloks Legos.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got Matthew Halo. The Halo set he did.
Yeah.
Oh, Robbie did.
Oh, I'd love to have that set. I got Zach got a Lego or a Halo set for Christmas, but not that one. Love to have the Warthog with Master Chief, man.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't notice. This one they built. It even has suspension on the wheels.
Suspension. You turn the gas.
Like 4-wheel, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's fun.
I'm struggling getting this darn thing go in your hole.
Yeah. I mean, Halloween with Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face. I think even the directing, I don't even think it was so much the directing with that. It just seemed like he was more the Joker, the way the Joker should have been. Like, I don't think he was really, truly Two-Face in general. I think there was too much of the bad side and not enough of the other side to balance it out like it normally was.
They played too much on the crazy and not the intelligence.
Right. Every now and then there was like 1 or 2 parts where he was like lucid with things like that, but and yes, I think her Catwoman is. You should see the pictures she draws. She's into the horror movies like me. She's got a Chucky and Tiffany that she drew from Child's Play.
Yeah.
And I love it. She does, and she did The Exorcist. She drew Deadpool. Yeah, I keep saying she needs to, like, I try to hook her up with the artists at the Comic-Cons up here that I know, and D-Nick's an artist, and, you know, I would love to see her go somewhere with that.
Heck yeah. It's 11:04, and I said I'd be calling it, so
Okay.
I hate that I didn't get this finished. I guess I was too busy running my mouth. Too much talking, not enough clicking.
Maybe we'll continue it into next week.
Possibly. I'll probably
We'll
lose
see
all
what
these into the next week, but okay.
Yeah, I have a few videos coming up that I'm going to upload pretty soon. The unboxing of the Star Trek dedication plaque.
Yes.
I got it's more fantasy and fandom as well. I got a samurai sword that I bought online that Matthew actually showed me from a website. It is 1020 carbon steel, full tang, battle ready, sharp as anything sword that I got, and it was less than $100.
Nice.
It was an on sale piece. I want to show what that looks like.
Yeah,
And,
I had signed up for Eagle Moss, or so I thought. Apparently, I didn't, because I'm like, where in the world is my Starship? Because I signed up so I could get the one from Picard, their ship.
And the La Serena?
I did that. Yeah, I even messaged you like a picture, be like, "Oh, look what I just did." Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to Eagle Moss and put in my info, and they're like, you don't have any orders in. You don't have any subscriptions in. I'm like, you know what? You can go to hell. I said it.
Usually their customer service is really good too.
Well, I didn't call them or anything. I'm just like, you know what? It just means I'm not supposed to waste money on that stuff.
Usually when I called them, when I first started my subscription, I got the ships of Discovery, and I did not like anything Klingon in Discovery, ships wise.
Yeah.
But so they even said, okay, we can even skip those for you. And they sat there and went over all the ships with me. Do you want this one, this one, this one? I said, well, cancel the Klingon one. I like this one. You know, she actually took her time with me online, and the customer service, if you call, they're very, very helpful.
Yeah, no, I bet. Like I said, I took it as a sign that I needed to just step away.
Let's see, with the Holoqueen show off more of her work. Funny you should say that. Val sent down, this is her Frankenstein's monster she drew too.
That one they're both amazing. Just amazing.
Yes, she does the detail and everything. She does amazing work. And I showed Dr. McCoy, I think, already. This is the Dr. McCoy one she did for me.
Yes.
With DeForest Kelly. And my dad actually wanted her to draw their wedding picture for him. And she's amazing. She does. I draw and I do things like that, but I would have to say, in all humility, she is much better than even I was growing up. I mean,
they look horrible.
My parents encouraged me sort of to draw a little bit, like my mom, but more as a hobby. Like, you know, my dad was like, "Do you ever hear starving artist? That's why you know." I wanted to go to art school, and I wanted to, you know, almost work for Disney and Disney Animation, but I always got the, you know, you need to get a real job. You just quit messing around with that stuff and get a real job. But I want to make sure with the talent she has, I would love to see her do. She wants to get into tattooing as well, you know, like the portrait tattooing and the realistic tattooing.
Yeah.
I don't want to see her talent go to waste, you know.
Oh, I hear you. Yeah, no,
she doesn't want to go to art school.
She's got some major talent. Major talent.
Yeah, but she's like me. She doesn't want to go to school for it because, like me, I have to be in the mood to draw. I'll hang it up. So, like, and she doesn't like people telling her what to draw, like in class. Like, she hates art class in school because here you got to draw this. Okay, it didn't look like this. You can't draw that, and you know, she likes to sit down and do what she wants to do. But she is amazing.
I don't believe in going to art school. I'm not an artist, but I mean, depending on what you're wanting to do, if you're having legitimate trouble or trying to figure out some tricks to the trade, then by all means. Or if you don't have a way of knowing different areas of art, what they're called, realism, stuff like that, then yeah, by all means. But if you're just wanting to be an artist and you're just wanting to do it, just to do it, no, you don't waste your money on art school to get frustrated and possibly, you know, abandon your craft because some professor didn't like the way you drew something the way they wanted it drawn or this or that. I mean, it is what it is. You know, just do you. Now, again, if you're wanting to make a profession out of it, then yeah, you might end up doing art school because now they all want
the computer art and all that stuff.
Well, they want that piece of paper.
Yeah, that's what it used to be when we were growing up. Like when I was baking, when I grew up a baker in my family's bakery. Like I was ready to dump healthcare lately, and I wanted to bake or culinary. And they said, "Well, where did you go to school?" And I said, "The School of Hard Knocks." I said, 4 Italian uncles and a father standing over you screaming at you if you did it wrong growing up. And they want the diploma that I went to a culinary school. And I was like, sorry, you know.
Yep. I used to work for a retailer, and I thought it was the weirdest thing You could work for that retailer for 40 years of your life. You could have started when you were, 20 and worked there until you're 60. And if you don't have a bachelor's degree, you will never make a manager. They will not hire you as manager. I worked with someone who was in their 50s, who had been a lead for decades. They had worked at the store since it opened up. They had been in, for decades. They finally went online and got their bachelor's degree. And the moment they got their bachelor's degree, they were able to be promoted to an actual manager. But they would not promote them to manager without a bachelor's degree. And it's like, they know what they're doing.
Yeah. And nothing actually changed at all except the piece of paper,
Exactly.
Oh, well. Alrighty. Let's call this one and maybe bring this into next week or see what we're going to do next week.
If I can let it sit here that long.
Probably not. But at least the finished product,
Yeah, because I worry about pieces getting missing and cats and people.
The ninja you have running around.
Yes, and this is Crashly's diamond painting spot too.
Oh yeah. You cannot encroach upon the diamond painting area.
Are you challenging me?
Who, me?
Is that a challenge?
Oh no. We don't. Not with Crashly.
Crashly, I think I'm being challenged.
No, he's not. I'm a firm believer in the happy wife, happy life scenario.
Crashly, Pizza just challenged me to leave my Lego set here.
I didn't.
You hear that? He's saying to do it. He goes, "You do it."
Hey, just like my father, and then there's a comedian that said the same thing. Do you want to be happy or do you want to be right? So.
See, that's a conundrum. I prefer being right.
Yeah, I've learned. I don't think I've been right in, let's see, 18 years, 19 years. But I've been happy here and there. Happy. But
Yeah,
normally I'd be like, yeah, do it. It's your space too. You should be able to put your stuff down. No.
Yeah, this is it's her desk.
I know.
I would love for it to,
We can talk all the trash we want, but
Do I though? Do I?
I just got a guy with an apple head.
Children's, cats, and Crashly. Yeah, the 3 C's.
Uh-oh.
Crashly just got killed by a guy with an apple head.
Seriously?
And Peggy.
Yeah, guy.
See? Android's better than Apple. Apple will kill you.
The apple guy.
Yeah, we're Android fans. Because Robbie's on Fortnite now. He finished the Legos. He's on Fortnite now.
I'm coming, Robbie!
No, he got the
coming,
finish.
Robbie.
I'm still working on my.
What is her epic game's name?
I don't know what that means.
Her game name?
Yeah, what's your game name?
Crashly 642.
No, it did it on. I think it's 606.
Crashly 606.
Crashly 606, I think.
I went back to the main menu, so I can tell you in like a moment.
Because his is RPS and 19. Oh.
Make another one of these.
So if we're friends on the Switch, I can't just go play with him? What the hell?
Oh, he's I think his name in the game is Arkham Pancake.
Arkham Pancake?
Yeah.
Those are the kind of pancakes that are canine from Pokemon.
Okay. He just sent you a friend request.
Arcanine.
He just sent Crashly a friend request in the
Oh,
game.
I won something.
I might have to go so I can play too.
There you go. I haven't been on Animal Crossing in a day or two. I better get on and start cleaning up my island since apparently I'm the only one who does it. All them other freeloading island dwellers.
Well, some people have to go, beat up the bad guys in Fortnite.
Yeah, right. Alrighty. So we'll call this one.
Later, guys.
Yep. And for the perfect day, may the 4th be with you.
This is the May.
And we're now into the Revenge of the 5th. So
Well, it's Revenge of the 6th. We get a day in between. We got to recoup.
I thought it was Revenge of the 5th.
And they get both. We'll let the dark side have both of them. Revenge of the 5th and Revenge of the 6th.
Or we can just say hell with it, go Cinco de Mayo and make a big picture of margarita.
Yeah, see, that's why the 5th is Cinco de Mayo, the 6th is Revenge of the 6th. Revenge of the 6th.
Margarita Day.
Oh.
All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
You're Batman too.
Tell your friends.